Do I believe in soulmates? The romantic part of me says yes. The more rational part of me says absolutely fucking not. I would like to believe in soulmates. But I don't know if I buy into the sense that everybody has one specific person. Because if every one person has one specific person, how do you know if you'll ever meet that person? Because what if you live in the States and they live in like England or something? Yes, there is a chance because of the internet and everything like that. But like, it just seems improbable, I suppose. I believe in souls. Just because I'm ginger and don't have one doesn't mean that I don't believe in them. Really? That's surprising. What? No, don't be offended. I just. Me? Maybe if it's you.
Red string of fate, follow it to where you are so far. My North Star.
I like this music.
Red string of fate, leading us
Music room?
now and always to home.
I like your singing, but sometimes I get this feeling like I'm searching for something. Ooh. Something magnetic? No, that's not it. Warm? No. Something. Vaughn. Ugh, no use. That feeling again. What is that? Vaughn, sweetie, come on. Coming, Mom. I joined her as we headed home for the day. Do you have to call me sweetie so loud? I'm 16. I'm your mother. Can't I show my own son that I love him? You can. It's so embarrassing. Can't you show it more quietly? What was that? Nothing. Those grass stains on the back of your shirt. Were you laying in the ground again? I'm digging the music though. Yes. You and your dad, just the same, you two. Always with your head in the clouds. Here she goes again. What are you even thinking about at your age? Hydrating! I have tea! Iced tea! And it's not alcoholic, because that stuff sucked. Don't tell me you're in love. It's just in the same kind of cup. Love? As if. Wow, sounding pretty defensive. Mom, please. People passed by, their silhouettes illuminated by a lavender haze as early dusk settled over the town. The busy clamor of the workday faded into a quiet murmur. What is it about this time of day that makes me think so much? Like, about that feeling. I'd do anything to know what that was, what I was searching for. Oof. It happened almost too fast for me to process. A bump against my shoulder, an inexplicable tug like a string pulled taut, and a voice clear and true like a siren's call. Sorry. Who? But they were gone. And before I could register how crazy it was, I was chasing after them. Vaughn? I ran down the street, pulled by an invisible string. Wait, come back! My body was no longer my own. It was possessed by a singular thought. Who was that? And that sensation? What was that? Thoughts swirled in my head, a chaotic jumble of questions only made worse by the growing crowd. Left, right, forward, backward, where was I running? Why was I running? I didn't have the answers. I only hoped that an invisible force guiding me would be my compass, steer me in the one direction I needed to go to find them. But with each passing moment, its pull grew weaker and weaker. Where? Vaughn! I turned to see Mom gripping my wrist in bewilderment. What are you doing? That's dangerous. You can't just go running off like that. We just moved here. I wouldn't know what to do if you got lost. But that person, where did they go? I didn't even get a chance to see what they looked like, or get their name. A foreign feeling filled me as I stared into the busy street. A mixture of emptiness, longing, pain. Ayy. While I'd never experienced it before, if I had to describe it, I'd say it was heartbreak? Jeez, that hurt. Hope that guy's okay though. Oh, it's us! Me! He probably thinks I'm so rude, ramming into him and running off. Well, no point lingering on it now. I rushed onwards. I was so late for this interview. Viscargot, if that's not a snail of some sort. As I pulled my phone out just to see how late I was, I realized it was nowhere to be found. No way! You've got to be kidding me! When did I lose it? Did I forget it at home? School? No, I definitely had it on me today, so when... Oof. Sorry. Don't tell me I dropped it then. There was no way I could go back and get it now. I could hardly remember the specific area we ran into each other. And by now, with how busy the city got at this time, it's probably been trampled on or kicked into a gutter somewhere. Great. Just great. I continued running to my interview, cursing my bad luck the entire way. What a hassle. Wasn't enough for me to bomb that interview, I just had to lose my phone too. I pulled out my new replacement phone to set it up. Welcome to your new phone, says Alexis. My name is Alexis, and I will be assisting you with setting everything up. In order for me to best assist you, it would be helpful for me to know how to refer to you. Ella! Rella? No. Ella. It seems you go by Ella. Is this correct? Yeah, sure, why not? Nah. Why do these look like Sanrio characters? It is a pleasure to meet you, Ella. What are your pronouns? She, her. So, it would be correct to say Ella goes by she, her? Yes, that would be correct. Splendid! I'm almost finished setting everything up for you. The last step will be choosing your avatar. This icon will be used on messaging interfaces. Oh, it's the sleeping! It's a sleeping cinema roll. These are Sanrio characters. I do enjoy this one, but I like the puppy. I think I'll go with the puppy. No, I don't know all their names. I know Cinema Roll mostly because of Iron Mouse. I mean, I'd seen the character before, but I don't think I really knew exactly what its name was. Because I watch Connor a lot when he does his claw machine stuff. Otherwise, I don't think I know the name of these other characters. Isn't one of them like Pompoko? Or no, that's a Ghibli film, I think. I don't know. Perfect. Let's test things out to make sure you're happy with how everything looks. Please type a message to test your icon. Yo. Nice. Are you satisfied with this icon? Yes. In that case, everything should be set up. Thank you for your patience. Finally. I flopped onto my bed, completely exhausted by today's events. Hopefully, a good night's rest would make me forget about it all. Deja vu. Excuse me? Wait, don't take him away. Ella? That totally says Vaughn. You can't tell me otherwise. His hand was yanked from mine, and the comforting warmth of his hold was replaced by a lonely chill. I rushed to the guards, desperate to keep him by my side. But they shoved me away, and I fell to the rough, cold prison floor. No! The jagged stone ground scraped against me as I ran to the guards again, but I was too slow, and the cell door clanged shut. I pulled on the iron bars, willing them to open, but like the guards, they held no response to my cries. With no other choice, I watched my love get dragged away. That totally says Vaughn. He yelled something back, but our growing distance muddled his words. As his silhouette faded into the shadows, a piece of me was stolen with him. So this is like star-crossed lovers, kind of like reincarnated, I'll find you in the next life kind of romance. I'm here for it. Sweat clung to my shirt. Air entered my lungs in short bursts. My chest ached with emptiness. The feeling of loss lingered in my body. That dream again. No matter how many times I had it, I could never shake the grip it had on me. As I slowly came to, my breathing steadied, and my heart rate slowed. I fell back against my pillow. How many times has it been at this point? They started when I lost my phone in high school. I could still vividly remember that day. It was like everything had gone wrong. The interview, my phone, and on top of it all, the devastating dream. I groaned as I tried to fall asleep to no avail, as it did every time it visited me. Memories of the dream tugged at me until morning. I groaned groggily in the cafe. After last night's dream, the remainder of my sleep had been restless, and I found myself in extra need of my morning coffee. Alvarez! The quiet rustle of bed sheets as the morning sun filters through the thin curtains. Raku! The loneliness of a shadowy forest in the midst of a thundering storm. Vaughn! The lingering warmth of someone's hand once clutched in mine. Since I was born, I've had a condition doctors call synesthesia. Usually, people with this condition perceive multiple senses together, like seeing colors when they listen to music. Oh, I've heard of that before. Mine seems to be a particularly rare form, where I feel names. Some names are soft and gentle, while others are harsh and demanding. When I was younger, it was distracting, but as I've grown older, I've gotten used to the sensations. Ella... Oh! After hearing my name, I went to retrieve my order. But as I reached for my coffee, someone else's hand almost ran into mine.
Sorry.
It's voice acted? I didn't know that. No, that was my bad. I wasn't looking at where I was going. My drinks just... I tried to grab my order, but our hands kept threatening to collide as we fumbled for our drinks. Sorry, Mine's...
You go first.
Thanks. Now that the threat of either of us running into each other was gone, we easily retrieved our drinks. Look at his tattoo!
How many people does it take to pick up a single copy?
For real, right? Normally, I'd say one, but it seems today I stand corrected.
Maybe I'm an exception then. And have a good day.
You too. Okay, you're definitely not 16 anymore, so we grew up since that first interaction. I walked towards the cafe exit. But if a film... Words. Hi, Malice! How are you? Okay, before I do this shout out, I gotta fix this real quick. Oh, I can't. There's no... Shoot. Shoot! Oh, there's my option.
Here, I got it.
He held the door open. I murmured my thanks and walked into the morning streets. The bookstore is... This is a completely different view from where we were a while ago, so I'm assuming we grew up. The bookstore is having a sale today. I should still have time to drop by before work. There were a couple books I'd wanted to pick up, and Asher's birthday was coming up. Who's Asher? He really likes photography books, but I don't even know which ones are good. Or maybe an art book? Didn't he mention that recent Studio... I see what you've done there. Studio Ghibli movie that he liked? I'm on to you, game. I noticed the man from the cafe walking nearby. Again? He's not following me, is he? As our eyes met, he glanced away, as if unsure, before walking faster. I slowed my own pace, relieved at the growing distance between us. He seemed spooked too. Looks like he's not following me. Okay. I guess it was just a coincidence. But as I continued towards the bookstore, I realized it now seemed like I was the one following him. With each turn onto a different street, my footsteps mirrored his, and inevitably his uncertainty turned into outright wariness. Oh, jeez. One last turn onto a different street, he stopped and waited for me to catch up. Listen, I'm not following you. I ended up blurting that out. Hopefully that doesn't make me look more suspicious. So, this isn't... You're not a fan? Fan? Why would I be a fan? Never mind. If you aren't following me, then why haven't I been able to shake you for the past 10 blocks? I'm trying to catch this book sale before work today. At the bookstore on 16th and Central? Yes, there! That's a coincidence. I was heading there too. Oh, I guess that explains why we haven't been able to shake each other. Either that or fate. Both of us seemed to relax at this revelation. Then should we walk together? Instead of one of us trailing behind the other? I don't know. The latter sounds awfully tempting. Didn't get your fix after the past 10 blocks? Well, I've come this far, might as well commit, right? He laughed and turned as we headed to the bookstore together. By the way, got a name I can call you? You didn't happen to pick it up at the coffee shop? Can't say I did. What a shame. Next time I'll pay better attention to the names they call out. I'm glad you learned your lesson. It's Ella, by the way. Nice. Name's Vaughn. So, what are you trying to pick up at the sale? Just a couple of photography books. Usually they're expensive, but this is one of the few occasions where they get discounted. Photography, is it a hobby of yours, or do you just like the books? You could say it's a hobby, but I like the books as inspiration for my own works. Wow, works? Sounds like you take your hobby seriously. Just a little. He's a photographer. It has to be. And you, what are you eyeing for the sale? Actually, funny you should ask. I'm in the market for some photography book recommendations. It's for a friend of mine. Another coincidence. Lucky you ran into me then. As we entered the bookstore, the smell of pressed paper and dried ink surrounded us. I want to go to Barnes & Noble. That's just, like, tell me you don't love walking into a bookstore. There is one, okay, so there's, like, this little town where, like, everything is, like close-knit together, and I really like that town. I like walking around there. It's too cold right now, but in summer. And they have, like, one of these, like, old-timey bookstores. Oh, my God. The first time I walked in there, I was just, like, I probably looked like some kind of weirdo, because I was just, like, sniffing, because I was like, oh, my God, it smells so good in here. I haven't been to Barnes & Noble in a while. I haven't been out in a while. Maybe I should go somewhere this weekend. As we entered the bookstore, the smell of pressed paper and dried ink surrounded us. Come on, I can show you my favorites. Vaughn led us to the photography section and scanned the shelves before expertly picking out a few choice selections. Is this friend of yours into books for the pictures or tips? I think pictures? Got it. Let's see. Vaughn sifted through a bunch and laid 3 medium-sized books on the table. One showed a black and white still of a woman, another a blooming flower field, and the last one a looming skyscraper over a busy street. If we're talking pure aesthetics, these are some of the most underrated, in my opinion. I peered at the image of blossoming wildflowers decorating a vast field framed by a towering mountaintop. A simple, one-worded title in geometric text read, Key Frames. This one's pretty. As I flipped through the book, dreamy landscapes depicting majestic mountain ranges, serene starry night skies, and bubbling creeks called out to me. Vaughn nodded as he observed me. A lot of people like landscapes. Makes sense, appreciation of for nature, the idea that you can see the picture in real life, all that jazz. Yeah, I'd love to visit any of these places, especially this one. I pointed to a picture of a... Let's go with flower field. Hope you make it out there one day. Ha! In this lifetime? Fat chance. Never say never. I smiled at the thought and continued going through the images. I really like this book. He seems to know what he's talking about. So, have you always been a photography book connoisseur, or did that come after picking up photography? After. When I first got into photography, I just took pictures of whatever I liked. Now I try to be more thoughtful about how I approach my process. It's not just about what I'm capturing, but also how I'm capturing it. What do you mean, how? Anyone can take a picture, but everyone's approach differs. The way they capture composition, lighting, colors, even their choice of subject. My style may not be the same, but I take inspiration from all types of photos. Editorial, landscape, still life. I tried to study the elements he had just discussed on the book's cover. So the subject of this picture is the flower field? And the composition, Vaughn chuckled before leaning over me. A faint, earthy smell of pine followed him. Landscape pictures are unique compared to editorial or still life pictures. Let me show you. He pointed to the woman in the editorial photo as he illustrated his points. Our fingers brushed against each other. You felt it that time. Vaughn jolted back, causing the book to slip from my hands and fall to the floor. Oh, sorry. It's all right. He got really shocked from just a light touch. After returning the book to me and regaining his composure, Vaughn cleared his throat and pointed to the two books. This time, he seemed more careful of any accidental physical contact. See how in this photo there's just one woman and a blank background? Yeah. But in the landscape picture, the flower field is framed against the sky, clouds, and mountains. Yeah, there's more going on. Exactly. That kind of background wouldn't work in this image of the woman, right? Or it wouldn't have the same effect. So that choice is what you try to study? Right. So, even if you don't take the same type of pictures, analyzing the thought process can still inspire you? Looks like he puts a lot of thought into his art. How long have you been doing this? Photography? I'd say 8 years. But I've been an artist for longer. Oh, what other kinds of art do you do? I started with drawing, but painting was my main medium until I switched to photography. And you haven't looked back since? I haven't gotten the chance to. Shoot. I rushed to the window where the sound of rain pelting the building mixed with rumbling thunder. Ugh, no. I dragged my hand down my face, cursing the fact I didn't bring an umbrella with me. Well, I would like to think conveniently Vaughn has a big enough umbrella for both of us. Everything okay? Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get to work in this rain. If you don't have an umbrella, I have a poncho you can use. I always carry one because of my camera. You want to borrow it? Oh, Vaughn, I couldn't ask you to do that. You're not asking, I'm offering. I don't mind, I can always buy another one. But what about you? This thunderstorm... I'll wait it out, don't worry. I think you need this more than me. He pulled out a foldable poncho and handed it to me. Thank you. The sound of the storm grew louder. Rain came down harder by the second. I'm gonna be late at this rate. In that case, I really need to get going. Sorry, Vaughn. It was nice meeting you, though. I turned, upset I couldn't get the books I'd wanted after all. Oh, wait! His hand grabbed my wrist, lingering there for a moment before releasing me. Sorry, I don't want to make you late, but is it cool if I give you my number? I know we just met, but... Oh, sure, here. I handed my phone to Vaughn. He smiled as he quickly entered his number before returning it to me. Testing, testing. LOL. Hear you loud and clear. C. You heard nothing. There we go. Nice, now I'll actually let you go. Wouldn't want you being late for work. Might be too late for that, but it's alright. Well, say sorry to your boss for me. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Bye, Vaughn. See you later. See ya, Ella. I hurried from the store, a notification from my phone from whom I could only assume was my coworker. I'm coming, I'm coming. As I pulled my phone out, I saw the message was actually from Vaughn. By the way, I can get the book you were looking at. I couldn't make you do that. LOL, I'm offering. Besides, me rambling about photography is why you didn't have time to buy the books in the first place. It's the least I can do. do you normally buy books for strangers you just met? And give them your poncho? Not normally. So I'm an exception? You could say that. Oh, he's got the puppy one too. Haha, we both have puppies. Fine, I'll take you up on it. Then I can return your poncho too. I rushed to work, arriving a few minutes late, but at least not soaking wet on top of it. And done. I made the last changes needed to the business proposal and logged off for the day. Geez, so much work. I haven't been able to catch a break. As I sorted through my messages, I noticed I missed one from Vaughn. Just bought your book. Let me know when you want to pick it up. Actually, just finished work, if you're free tonight. Get to see you again already. Have you had enough of me for one day? I'd say it's the opposite. I have plans tonight, though, so I wouldn't be able to treat you to a full-fledged date unless you're willing to wait until late. I'll be at this address if you want to pick it up today. Just let me know. I can swing by. I have time. Plus, it's Friday, so lucky for you, I have a late curfew. Lol. Oh no. Oh no. I think I already know. Definitely seems to be my lucky day. See you soon. See you soon. Rose. What the heck was that? Oh, it's my dog. Silly doggy. Rows of pictures highlighted with fluorescent spotlights hung from a lofty ceiling. My footsteps echoed against the smooth wooden floor as I observed the various collections on display. I slowed to a stall at a set of grayscale images. Ooh. The crowd on the platform insisted on shoving her in different directions. Each touch was uncomfortable but purely accidental until it wasn't. She looked at the person who bumped into her, and they were already walking away. Do I know you? She reached for him desperately as he finally collapsed onto the floorboards with a weak grunt. The deal is done, he whispered. She sobbed and rushed to close the distance between them. There is a circle of life, from birth to death to decay to feeding the living. There is life beyond the rot that provides energy for new growth. Wow. Each image portrayed something different, but there was a clear theme woven into each of the pieces, a sense of fate, a chance encounter, the inevitable turn of time, the devastation of destined tragedy. My chest tightened at the collection. Oh, hey, Vaughn! Ella, you made it. I turned to Vaughn, approaching me with an excited grin on his face. I honestly forgot we were supposed to be meeting him here. Hey, Vaughn. You should have mentioned you would be at an art exhibit. Some people would say this is a perfect date spot. Here? Well, I guess that's true, but considering this is my exhibit, it'd probably be a bit pretentious taking my date here. Your exhibit? Wait, this entire collection is yours? Vaughn let out a bashful laugh as he rubbed the back of his neck. Yeah, what do you think? It's beautiful. You undersold how much of a photographer you are. I felt a slight heat on my cheeks remembering our first meeting. I asked him if he did photography as a hobby, and here he is with an entire public exhibit. At my compliment, Vaughn relaxed in relief. His eyes sparkled warmly at me. Glad you like it. Come with me, I have your book. Is it okay to give it to me now? Aren't you busy with whatever artists do at their own exhibits? It's fine, it won't take long. He led me back to the door of the gallery, and we entered a small studio.
Just a second. It's right here.
He emptied a satchel onto one of the tables, and the photography book, along with some brushes, an eraser, and a medium-sized canvas, slid out. On the canvas were two figures reaching for one another. It echoed the collection on display in the exhibit. And yet, something about this specific image tugged at me. What's this? Vaughn's eyes followed my gaze to the painting.
Just a piece I've been working on for a while, actually. Remember how I used to draw and paint?
Uh-huh. Then you got into photography.
Right. Well, I've always had this feeling inside of me. It's the whole reason I got into art. It's hard to describe, but it's like I'm being pulled to something. Or I'm searching for it.
Yeah, it's not fully voice acted though, so sometimes you have to listen to me talk to myself, but...
I guess you could call it my purpose?
He's got a very nice voice, whoever the voice actor is for Vaughn, though.
been trying to capture it all my life. For a while, I thought I could, with photography, but it's never been right.
Is that why this looks similar to the photos outside? You're trying to draw the feeling?
Yeah, basically. I thought if I created it myself with my own two hands, it would stop gnawing at me.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I could relate to Vaughn's dilemma. This feeling of needing to create something, but it never came out quite right. But it sounded frustrating. I'm sorry to hear that. It's a beautiful piece, though.
Thanks. It's driving me crazy. I feel like I'm so close, but it's still missing something.
Do you mind if I see? He nodded, and I picked up the canvas. What's it look like? What's it look like? A grayscale painting where two figures seemed to be ripped from one another. It was beautiful, with a haunting sense of loss. My chest ached with an eerie emptiness, a longing. Something about it felt familiar. Something about it reminded me of last night's dream.
I know it's a more depressing piece.
No, it's not. I mean, I feel like I've lost something when I look at it, but it's not in a negative way. It just felt familiar is all. Sorry for that awkward silence. Probably not the kind of reaction an artist is looking for.
All good. It's similar to the photographs outside, so it makes sense if it looks familiar.
But it also reminds me of a dream I had.
Really? What was it about?
Oh, nothing too profound. Just one of those dreams where you're in love with a random stranger. No way am I going to tell him I actually felt heartbroken over it. He's gonna think I'm so dramatic. I do see what you mean, though, about it missing something.
Right? Feels like I've thought about everything, but I just don't know what it needs.
He was right. I could tell there were so many rich emotions in the piece: grief, devastation, heartbreak, and yet it needed more. I thought back to last night's dream, how if I was actually in that position, I would give anything to be reunited with the person ripped from me, how desperately I would cling to the hope that they would be together again. I almost wanted to have a happy ending, like they'll still be together. Maybe not now, but one day. I know that guess goes against the whole point of the current piece, though. Vaughn searched through his pile of brushes before pulling out one with a thin bristle. With unbelievable focus, he dipped his brush in paint and leaned forward towards the painting. After a steady breath, he added a plop of color to the canvas with one smooth stroke. He continued adding small details here and there before finally leaning back. I didn't dare utter a word, afraid I'd break his concentration. The red string of fate! When he finished, a red string connected the two people. It was a small touch, and yet the piece felt more whole. Tragic that they were inexplicably tied but were being separated, and yet endlessly romantic that the string wasn't broken. Perhaps one day they would meet once again.
Like that?
Yeah.
That was it. It's so simple, but I can't believe I'd never thought to tie them together. Especially with this feeling that I was being pulled to create this. Thank you. Without you...
I barely did anything. I was just thinking out loud.
Still, you helped me complete it. I've been chasing this idea for years, and after one day with you, I'm starting to think fate sent you to be my muse.
Oh no, not the cheesy artist pickup line.
It's a no-go, huh?
Try again.
I'll save myself the embarrassment, but thank you. Honestly, I've been stuck on this piece for literally my entire life. Anyways, I'll stop boring you with my art nonsense. I have to wrap up the exhibit, but it should be over soon. Then the real date begins.
Sounds good. I explored the rest of the art exhibit with a greater appreciation now that I knew Vaughn was the artist behind the collections. Oh, this one's nice too. Ella, sorry for the wait. It's no problem. I've just been appreciating the pictures. Words. You don't have to lie for my sake. I wasn't. I actually like your art. I never would have been able to enjoy this if it weren't for running into you. Pictures, yeah. Sometimes I get to reading all this stuff and my words just start to jumble together. I'm glad fate sent me to be your muse. Don't remind me of that corny line. I can't believe I actually said that. Already regretting it? Depends. Did it work? Shit. Where's the maybe option? Coily says maybe. I'll give you a yes. I hate to admit that I liked it. Wow, so you like that kind of stuff. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. I can't wait to hear all the artist pickup lines you come up with. Don't know if I'll be able to top the muse one, but I'll try not to disappoint you. Vaughn offered his arm to me. I took it as he led us from the exhibit. So, did you happen to plan anything for our date tonight amidst all the exhibit chaos? I think you're making the exhibit out to be bigger than it was. But I do have an idea. Tonight there's a meteor shower that I wanted to check out. Wanna come? Ooh, yes, let's go. Vaughn drove us to a mountain overlook where glimmering stars speckled the midnight blue sky.
Looks like it hasn't started yet. Perfect.
We exited the car. The starry night hung over us. The city spanned below us. Even without the shooting stars, it was a scene to behold. Pretty. My words faded with a yawn.
Are you tired? We can go.
No, it's all right. We just got here. Besides, I want to see the stars. I'm just a little tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Had a bad dream.
Really? Must have been something else to make you lose sleep like that.
It's weird. I've actually gotten it a couple of times, but every time I wake up just as shaken up. Flashes of the dream, the cold prison walls, the harsh guards, the desperation in my voice resurfaced. And with them, the tightening in my chest returned. The details of the dream are usually hazy, but the last thing I always remember is the heartbreak I feel after. Like I've lost a part of myself. It's weird. I don't even know the other person. I can't even remember their name. But for some reason, I can't forget them. The way they make me feel. Sorry. I didn't mean to be a downer. Like I said, it's just the stream I get sometimes. I swear I'm not usually this dramatic over them.
No, don't worry. That's not it.
He shifted his weight between his feet, as if uncertain.
In fact, it's the opposite. I get it. I get a dream like that too. Had it since I was in high school.
Really? Me too.
You've had this dream since high school too?
Crazy coincidence, huh?
That's one way of putting it. Yeah, I don't tell people about it anymore. Stopped trying after the first couple of crazy stares I got. Not sure how many other details match, but mine always starts in a prison cell. Someone gets yanked away from me. Your standard stuff. I mean, the dream itself is generic enough, but the loss I feel afterwards is unbelievable. It inspired that piece I showed you. The one you helped me finish today.
The painting?
Yep.
You mentioned that feeling being an inspiration for all your works. Does that mean your exhibit today too?
Got a sharp memory, huh? That's right. The dream is the feeling I've been trying to recreate in all my pieces.
Maybe that's why I connected to so many of your pieces. And why I could help you complete the painting. Aren't you lucky I had the same dream right before stumbling into you today?
I told you, didn't I? Fate sent you to be my muse.
You say that to all your dates?
Have to say, this is a first.
I chuckled and shook my head. Still, to think we had the same dream. What are the chances? Wait, don't take him away. Ella. That said Vaughn. It says Vaughn. You can't tell me otherwise. His hand was yanked from mine, and the comforting warmth of his hold was replaced by a lonely chill. By the way, got a name I can call you? You didn't happen to pick it up at the coffee shop? Can't say I did. What a shame. Next time I pay better attention to the names they call out. I'm glad you learned your lesson. It's Ella, by the way. Nice. Name's Vaughn. The lingering warmth of someone's hand once clutched in mine. Do you want to hear another crazy coincidence?
You have more? I'm gonna start thinking you're making them up.
Well, I will say this one's harder to believe. In my dream, one of the last things I remembered was the feeling of someone's hand in my own.
I thought the last thing you remembered was heartbreak.
The last physical thing I remember.
Got it, got it.
Smartass.
What about it?
When we met, I got a similar feeling.
You did? What do you mean?
Well, I have synesthesia. When I hear people's names, I also feel physical sensations, like the tickle of a whisper against my cheek, things like that. Usually I don't pay too much attention to it, but now that I think about it, the feeling I got when you told me your name was just like the one from my dream. The lingering warmth of someone's hand once clenched in mine. I laughed nervously. Connecting all these dots was starting to make me feel like a conspiracy theorist. It sounds like I'm making it up when I say it out loud, but some coincidence, right?
Coincidence or fate? You ever experienced that sensation before?
That specific one? Not that I can remember, actually.
Do you want to hear my own crazy coincidence?
Oh no, not you too.
I have a condition like yours. When I touch someone for the first time, I get this feeling like deja vu. You know when you meet someone, but they feel so familiar, it's like you knew them in a past life?
Yeah.
It's like that. With you, though, it was much more visceral. I felt like I'd found someone I'd been searching for.
So the subject of the picture is the flower field? And the composition, Vaughn chuckled before leaning over me. A faint, earthy smell of pine followed him. Landscape pictures are unique compared to editorial or still life pictures. Let me show you. He pointed to the woman in the editorial photo as he illustrated his points. Our fingers brushed against each other. Vaughn jolted back, causing the book to slip from my hands and fall to the floor. Oops, sorry. It's alright. He got really shocked from just a light touch. Is that why he reacted like that? Vaughn rubbed the back of his neck and turned towards the outlook. He let out a rueful laugh.
It sounds like another cheesy pickup line, but I swear it's more than that. In fact, I didn't want to tell you. Thought you'd get creeped out. But I can't help but feel like the universe keeps sending me these signs that I was meant to run into you.
I rushed to the guards, desperate to keep him by my side. But they shoved me away and I fell to the rough, cold prison floor. No! The jagged stone ground scraped against me as I ran to the guards again. But I was too slow, and the cell door clanged shut. I pulled on the iron bars, willing them to open, but like the guards, they held no response to my cries. With no other choice, I watched my love get dragged away. Vaughn! I told you his name! I told you it said Vaughn! Like anybody else couldn't have guessed that, but I'm just saying. Vaughn, was that... Is he?
Oh, looks like the show started. At 11:11 too. Make the wish of your life.
Vaughn pulled out his camera, shifting his attention to the starry paths being traced in the night sky. I tried to slow my racing heart as I focused on the meteor shower, but I couldn't stop thinking about the dream, about Vaughn. If he's the one from my dream, what does it mean? Is it just chance, or is it something deeper? Coincidence or fate?
Make your wish already?
Oh, not yet.
Better hurry before you miss your chance.
I tried to come up with a wish, but my mind kept returning to last night's dream, the desperation to be with that person again. If Vaughn is the one from my dream, I wish that one day I'll be able to make it to the flower field from that book earlier today. With Vaughn.
Pretty sure you're not supposed to tell anyone your wish. Otherwise it won't come true.
Oops. Pretend you didn't hear it then.
Hear what?
Perfect. Well, what about you? Did you make a wish?
Sure did. It's a secret though. Can't afford to jinx it.
If Bella's the one from my dream.
I hope the universe always pulls us together.
Do you think I should begin to believe that there is some truth to resurrection? Did we in our previous life woo one another, or is this just deja vu? Quran Prasad. What about reincarnation? That something you think is real? Yes. Huh. Interesting. What do I think? To be honest, it's not... Hey! Go back! But lately I've been thinking I hope it is. Ah! Why? Wait. Ooh, I thought it was over. Will you follow the string into the next life? Wait. No, wait. Was that the end? Don't tell me that was the end. No, see, there's so much more. Go back. You. There is more. Like that? Yeah. That was it. It's so simple, but I can't believe I'd never thought to tie them together. Especially with this feeling that I was being pulled to create this. Thank you. Without you, I barely did anything. I was just thinking out loud. Still, you helped me complete it. I've been chasing this idea for years, and after one day with you, I'm starting to think fate sent you to be my muse. Oh, no, not the cheesy part. His pickup line. It's a no-go, huh? Try again. I'll save myself the embarrassment, but thank you, honestly. That dream again. His velvet voice, the soft warmth in his eyes, that gentle touch. This mysterious stranger sometimes visited me in my dreams. Our interactions were so vivid, it was like they actually happened. Every time I was left with the desire to reach out to him, to grab hold of him and never let go, afraid I'd never see him again if I didn't. But every time I tried, I was only met with a dissipating haze, like a beautiful curse I was destined to relive over and over. I burrowed my face into my pillows as if that would rub away the melancholy settling over me and tried to fall back to sleep. But the lingering effects of the dream made it impossible. Ugh, what time is it? With heavy, sleep-deprived eyelids, I blinked groggily at my clock. 1:11 a.m. I shook my head and groaned, hiding away once again under my blanket. Hopefully I'm not too tired at work tomorrow. As I closed my eyes, I sighed. Would my dream stranger visit me again when I fell asleep? Did I have the heart to let him sweep me away just for him to vanish as soon as the morning sun came? Why can't he be real? Please give him a warm welcome to the team. Out of all the candidates, he has the best by a mile. I'm trusting you to show him the ropes. Okay, what was his name again? Vaughn. Dun dun. That tickle of someone else's fingertips brushing against mine. Got it. I'll check in with you later. I have a good feeling about the two of you. New guy, huh? Well, let's see what he's made of. Hope he's as good as everyone's making him out to be. Come in. Hey, you Ella? That voice. I jerked towards the door. I'd recognize that voice anywhere, but never would I have imagined to hear it outside of my dreams. Red string. Ooh, yay, there is more. I was really hoping it wasn't going to end like that. Wait, don't take him away. Ella, Vaughn! His hand was yanked from mine, and the comforting warmth of his hold was replaced by a lonely chill. I rushed to the guards, desperate to keep him by my side, but they shoved me away and I fell to the rough, cold prison floor. No! The jagged stone ground scraped against me as I ran to the guards again, but I was too slow and the cell door clanged shut. I pulled on the iron bars, willing them to open, but like the guards, they held no response to my cries. With no other choice, I watched my love get dragged away. Vaughn! He yelled something back, but our growing distance muddled his words. As his silhouette faded into the shadows, a piece of me was stolen with him. Sweat clung to my shirt. Air entered my lungs in short bursts. My chest ached with emptiness. The feeling of loss lingered in my body. What? As I slowly came to, my breathing steadied and my heart rate slowed. I fell back against my pillow. Ugh, that dream again. Why is it always about him, of all people? I tried to fall asleep, to no avail. Memories of the dream tugged at me until morning. Why do you look worse than usual today? Ow! Bitch! What the fuck? Great. Just what I needed. Waiting by my office door was Vaughn himself, as if he knew that was exactly what would worsen my mood. Literally, shove it, Vaughn. Oh, so we don't like each other in this time. Wow, more aggravating too. Impressive. For your information, this is your fault. My fault? Yes, because evidently it's not enough for you to make my life miserable here, you have to haunt me in my sleep too. You dreamt about me. It was a nightmare. Don't flatter yourself. So, if you hate me a little more than usual today, you only have yourself to blame. It's not my fault you think about me so much that you dream about me. Just shut up. I'm not in the mood today. Vaughn only whistled before disappearing into his office, which somehow annoyed me even more than if he had said anything. Ugh, whatever. I entered my own office and started sorting through the mountain of emails awaiting me. But after our conversation, I only felt more hung up on last night's dream. Why am I still thinking about that? Buzz buzz. Who is texting me? Hey, what do you want? The proposal we have coming up. Did you make those edits yet? I'll get to it. Chill out. You sure? Your calendar says otherwise. Don't snoop around my calendar. How many times have I told you not to do that? I wouldn't do it if you didn't book it up like an idiot. I know how to do my job, Vaughn. Get off my back. Jesus, you still crabby from your dream or what? Nightmare. And you're just being annoying. I don't need you to micromanage me. I'm not micromanage. You know what? Never mind. Not even worth it. Just do it. I don't want to have to keep waiting on you. My phone finally went silent, and I took a deep breath to regain my composure. There he goes again, harping on me like usual. What is his problem? Does he ever not have a stick up his... Okay, breathe. Don't let him get you worked up again. I remembered the day we first met, when I thought I had literally met the man of my dreams. What a joke. I thought he would be sweet, charming, but this Vaughn was aggravating, grumpy, a hard ass. The list went on. But our boss said we made a good team, and no matter how much Vaughn and I disagreed with that, here we were, 2 years later, still working on projects together. That client proposal is due at the end of the week, and as much as I hated to admit it, Vaughn was waiting on me to finish the remaining pieces. With everything else on my plate, I hadn't gotten a chance to get to it, and last night's nightmare wasn't doing any favors for my productivity. I hate when I get those nightmares. The fact I dreamed so desperately about Vaughn and the theme in them was bad enough, but the day after, how am I supposed to act around him, especially with this gnawing feeling, this unease that ate away at me, as if something was about to go wrong and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Ugh. Maybe I should ask him to help? No. He'd never let me live it down. I can do it. I just need to rearrange my schedule. Vaughn didn't message me for the rest of the day. While I was able to make some progress on the client proposal, it wasn't finished like I had hoped. You have got to be kidding me. As if this excruciating day couldn't get any worse, it was now pouring rain. And I didn't bring my umbrella. I can't believe this. Of all the godforsaken things that could happen, this is just...
Talking to yourself now? You finally lose it?
Vaughn was smirking at me with the biggest shit-eating grin on his face. I scowled at his less than appreciated appearance. You have eyes. Do you see my umbrella? I'm sure even you can figure out why I'm mad.
Dream me didn't remind you to bring it this morning?
No, Nightmare You was busy tormenting me. Surprisingly, he didn't respond. Instead, he tilted his head as if contemplating something. What, no scathing remark about how dumb I am for forgetting my umbrella?
Too easy.
Then what? Don't tell me you have an extra poncho lying around.
Of course not. Jeez, you're unbearable today. The rain isn't supposed to let up at all tonight.
Great. Thanks for this amazing news. I really appreciate it. In that case, pray don't get sick and ditch you on that big project coming up. Vaughn stared at me with some mixture of pity, disgust, and frustration. Don't look at me like...
Here, get under.
Vaughn held his umbrella out, and I blinked, dumbfounded. Surely I heard him wrong.
Don't make me repeat myself.
You'd let me walk with you?
Did I stutter? Listen. The only thing dumber than someone who forgot their umbrella before a huge thunderstorm is someone who gave themselves more work to do because they let that idiot get sick.
I did not want to get under his umbrella. So bad. But I wanted to walk through the storm without one even less. Fine, don't make this weird.
Right back at you.
He lifted his umbrella over both of us. There wasn't much room underneath, but it was better than the alternative. I awkwardly shuffled next to him, the closest we had ever been since we'd known each other. He smelled annoyingly good, like warm, earthy pine.
You good?
Well, I guess we'll find out when we start walking, won't we? He made a point to roll his eyes before we ventured into the rain. Water immediately soaked through my sleeve, and I shifted closer to Vaughn. He seemed to stiffen, but aside from that, absent was the snarky response I would have expected from him. Oh, he's not too bad to be around when he shuts himself up. The storm's winds picked up, pelting even heavier raindrops against me. My side is getting soaked. I glanced at his umbrella. He was holding it straight up, but the wind was blowing the rain at an angle. He needs to hold the umbrella this way to block more of the rain. I think if you just...
What?
You need to... Why does it feel so awkward to talk to him right now? Is it because he's being weirdly nice? You...
What are you saying right now?
Let me show you. I grabbed his wrist and angled it against the direction of the wind. There, see? Well, his grasp on the handle faltered, and we both fumbled and failed to grip the umbrella tighter. It clattered to the ground, exposing us to the torrent of rain.
Idiot.
Rude. Me? You're the one who dropped it. He grabbed the umbrella and then my hand, and we bolted for a nearby awning. Drenched and panting, we caught our breaths as we took a momentary reprieve from the store.
Nice going.
How was I supposed to know you have butterfingers?
You make it a habit to grab anyone you know?
It would have been faster for me to just show you. You weren't holding the umbrella right. He shot me a piercing glare before turning back to the rain.
Whatever. My place is just one train stop away. If you need to drive there, you can.
I live further than one stop. Sitting for that long in these soaked clothes? Yeah, fine. I won't take long. Thanks.
Yeah.
He held the umbrella out. I walked towards it before he pulled it away, eyeing me warily.
No more sudden moves from you, though.
Then hold it right this time.
Oh my god.
I returned to his side, to that faint smell of pine, and together we hurried to Vaughn's place.
Bathroom's on the left. I'll get you a towel. You can dry your clothes in the dryer. I have something you can wear in the meantime.
Thanks. In all the time we'd known each other, I'd never been to his place. He kept it surprisingly clean. I waited awkwardly at the doorway as Vaughn retrieved my towel and spare clothes. Today has been interesting. Vaughn being nice to me was a development I wouldn't have expected even if hell froze over. And for it to happen after my nightmare last night, all of it was too unbelievable to wrap my head around. I'll just shower, and as soon as my clothes are done drying, I'll
Here,
head out.
this should fit.
Vaughn returned with a fluffy towel, a clean shirt, and some baggy shorts.
But let me know if you need anything else. Dryer's in the closet connected to the bathroom, so just throw your stuff in there.
Yeah, okay, thanks. I cringed at my meek response and hurried to the bathroom. It's weird not being mean to him. I pulled my clinging wet clothes from my body and turned on the shower. The warm steam was welcome relief after the cold rain. As I stepped into the shower, I sighed and let my worries melt under the hot water. Inevitably, my thoughts returned to last night's nightmare. I was so heartbroken when Vaughn was taken away. Even now, I could remember the way my chest ached for him. And the way I had grown flustered walking by his side today. Ugh, no. We are not going to think about that right now. I turned off the water. The heat was obviously getting to my head. As I put his clothes on, the smell of pine surrounded me again. Damn, he's annoying. Why does he smell so good? Fresh from my shower, I stepped into Vaughn's living room, but he was nowhere to be found. Vaughn?
In here. You want anything to drink?
He brought out a bottle of beer for himself. I'll have... just a water. I didn't know you drank.
Well, if I'm gonna be stuck with you for the next hour or so.
Wow. And here I thought we were finally starting to tolerate each other.
Think again.
I rolled my eyes, though I hated to admit I felt more comfortable with our usual banter.
You hungry?
He turned to start dinner, but not without giving me a good glimpse of his smirk first. Great timing, stomach. But whatever he was making did smell good. While I wouldn't say it out loud, I was grateful for the food. Eventually, our meal was ready, and he served each of us a plate, including a side of his specialty, a shit-eating grin.
Well, eat up.
If you're gonna be annoying about it, maybe I won't. He rolled his eyes, pushing my plate closer to me.
I was kidding. Lighten up. Make sure you eat. If you get sick before the big presentation, I'm gonna hunt you down and bring you into the office, nose running and all.
I scoffed, but obliged as I dug in. He's actually a pretty good cook. We ate in uncomfortable silence until Vaughn spoke again.
Hey, that dream you said you had about me,
Nightmare.
what was it about?
What? Why do you care?
I don't know, I was just wondering.
So you can torment me over it?
No, that's not what I... Fuck. Why do you always have to make things so difficult?
When have you ever given me reason to make things easy for you?
Just answer the question, damn.
In my nightmare, what am I supposed to say? It was a nightmare, but it was because I lost him? It makes me sound like I'm in love with him. He'd hold that over me for as long as I live. It's embarrassing. Why do I have to tell you?
Because I asked?
What kind of reason is that?
What's the big deal? Just tell me.
Easy for you to say. You just listen and then make fun of me.
I won't make fun of you.
Why should I believe you?
Because I said so.
Yeah, right. Why do you want to know so bad?
I don't have to explain myself to you.
You do if you want to know what my nightmare was about. He clenched his jaw. When I refused to answer, he scoffed and rolled his eyes.
I'll tell you. After you tell me about your nightmare. Promise?
His interest was suspicious, too high to be due to his usual jackassery. I decided to tell him out of pure curiosity. Fine. All right. In my nightmare, I was in some old prison cell like those musty stone ones from cheesy historical period films, and you were being taken away from me by these guards. I don't know why. I kept trying to stop them, but it was useless. When I woke up, it was like the dream had actually happened. My chest hurt. I felt like I lost someone important to me. I grew quiet, remembering the heartache before realizing Vaughn was still listening to my story. I mean, it was a lot scarier than I'm making it sound right now. Like, I got all scraped up from the stone, and there was this loud clanging, and it was cold. You know what? Never mind. It sounds stupid now that I say it out loud. It's just bothering me all day since the dream felt so real. And it was about you, of all people. So, there you have it. My cheeks burned at having to share such an embarrassing, intimate dream with him. And his silence was not helping. He was probably trying to decide which of his many annoying comebacks to make right now.
Have you ever heard about the red string of fate?
Yeah. The idea that soulmates are bound by a red string of... right?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, what about it?
Nothing?
Nothing? Does it have to do with my nightmare? You think we're soulmates or something?
No. As if you would be my soulmate.
Are you saying you believe in soulmates?
Don't be ridiculous.
You're acting weird. Like, weirder than usual. Are you drunk?
Ugh, please.
Well, you still didn't tell me why you wanted to know about my nightmare. Is it connected to this red string thing, or...
I don't want to tell you.
What? I had to tell you about my nightmare.
You're gonna be an ass about it.
No, I won't. Promise?
Ugh, fine. That dream you had about me?
Nightmare?
Shut up. I saw something similar when you wrestled me today.
Wrestled you? Huh, what do you mean you saw something? Are you making fun of me?
When I touch someone for the first time, I get these visions, like deja vu, but stronger. It doesn't happen a lot. It's not like I meet people from my past lives often, but it does. And I know it sounds crazy, so don't even bother saying anything right now, or you will piss me off, I swear to God. But that dream you had about me? I saw the same thing when you manhandled me earlier. And just like you, I've never experienced anything that strong before. The vision was so clear, and afterwards I felt... Anyways, I remembered the red thread, and I thought, what if, in another life, we were separated, and 2 years ago, we finally found each other again? I mean, it's stupid. You're right. Just forget I said anything.
I didn't say it was stupid.
So you think we're soulmates?
I definitely didn't say that. But I do think it's weird we both saw the same thing. Okay, let's just... Hypothetically, if we rolled with this idea, just for a second. You're saying in a past life we were together, but we got separated for some reason. And after all these years, we found each other again. Because we're soulmates, tied together by the red string of fate. That's why I had that dream and you had that vision.
When you say it like that, it sounds corny.
That's how you said it. You know, if you want me to be your soulmate, you are not selling it well.
I don't want you to be my soulmate. I didn't even... believe in them or think about them until now. Never mind. This was dumb. I shouldn't have even brought you up. We're probably just tired from work. And we spent so much goddamn time together. Now we're getting the same weird stress dream. Just forget it.
I wanted to forget. Oh, he didn't even know how badly I wanted to. But I couldn't. The dreams, the invisible connection to him, it pulled at me.
But now,
I have synesthesia. When I hear people's names, I get this physical sensation. Sometimes it's really subtle, like sinking into a pillow after a long day. Other times it's a bit stronger. When you first told me your name, it felt like that short moment after you've held someone's hand and you can still feel the warmth of their hand on your palm. Or like when someone else's hand has been ripped from yours in a prison cell.
now you're making shit up.
I'm not making it up.
If you want to be my soulmate so bad, just ask me out like a normal person.
You're the one who brought up the idea of soulmates first. Van tapped his fingers against the table. Something he did whenever he was deep in thought.
You're being serious right now? About the name thing?
Did I stutter?
Damn. This is so fucking weird. When do coincidences become fate?
I was starting to feel tired from all these revelations and glanced at my phone. 2:22 a.m.? Oh my god, I need to get home. I jumped from my seat. Vaughn glanced wide-eyed at me, and then the clock.
You're leaving?
Well, it's already past 2, and we have work tomorrow. You want me to pull an all-nighter with you talking about whether soulmates are real?
But you can't go home now. It's dangerous.
You're saying you want me to stay the night?
I don't want you to stay the night, but it's too late for you to walk home alone.
I don't have clothes for tomorrow.
Just wear what you wore today.
The same outfit.
Who cares? No one will even notice. We're all barely human at work anyways.
Fair point. It is late.
It's fine. You can sleep on the couch.
Wow, no bed for your guest?
Nope. I have just the one, and it's for me. Unless you want to share.
Absolutely not. Hard pass.
Just say please. I'll consider it for my soulmate.
Oh, fuck you. In your dreams.
More like in yours.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Vaughn gestured for me to follow him to the living room. I sat down as he walked to his bedroom. He returned shortly with some blankets and pillows.
Here.
I was buried under a pile of plush throws and cushions. Excuse me.
You're excused.
I think I like this version of him better. It's funnier. He dismissively left me, and his bedroom door closed with a reverberating sound of finality. Ugh. He's the worst. Soulmate my ass. She still hasn't finished the appendix edits I told her about. I searched her calendar. I could already hear her yelling at me for it. And her schedule's packed again. Why does she take on so much? It had been a couple of days since the weird soulmate incident, and we hadn't seen much of each other since. Soulmate. What was I thinking? I must have been drunk out of my mind to have said that out loud. But was it really so strange? After what I'd seen when we touched? I think they're coming
I think they're coming for me soon. The prison guards were talking about it.
Already? I couldn't agree more, but I had to stay strong. My punishment was coming now, whether we wanted it to or not. And I wanted to make this as painless as possible, for her sake. Isn't there something we can do? Some way we can... Yes,
Remember our promise?
I do.
I'll make it happen. No matter what. I swear it.
Then... find me in the next life.
Always.
She reached for me through the bars, and I took hold of her hand. I committed it all to memory, the feel of her skin, the strength of her grip, the warmth of her touch. I'd never forget any of it.
They're coming. But don't forget, no matter what.
Adrenaline coursed through my body. How was it possible to even feel even more nervous? I'd never imagined it would be so difficult to keep it cool in my last moments. I thought I'd accepted this a long time ago. Maybe I had, before I met her. Could she feel my hand shaking? Hear the quiver in my voice? She was so close and yet so far away. What I would do to bring her into my arms. was no use for those kinds of thoughts. All that was impossible. And so I prayed to turn the impossible possible. If there's anyone out there, let this be my one request. Let me find her again. My one request. Is that really a past life we shared? There was no way. Every logical bone in my body rejected the possibility. So then why couldn't I stop thinking about her? Still, to call her my soulmate out loud like that, my face heats up from the memory. And now, Ella has me blushing. Unbelievable. And yet, as much as I tried to forget that conversation, I noticed myself being even more distracted by her than usual. Has she eaten? She seems stressed. What meeting does she have now? Endless questions and thoughts brought on by a new hyper-awareness of her. And to make matters worse, not only could I not get Ella off my mind, I couldn't talk to her the same as before. Which brought me to my current dilemma. When the hell is she gonna finish that appendix? It's due in 2 days. Fuck it, where is she? All these questions were making me fidgety. There was nothing left to do but seek Ella out and ask her myself. It had been a couple of days since our soulmate talk, but since then, Vaughn and I had interacted very little with each other. The main reason being all of these small projects I had to manage. A mountain of emails here, piles of documents there, endless meetings somewhere else. I had no time to myself. I'm gonna lose my mind. What made it even more stressful was the proposal deadline coming up. I still hadn't made the progress I needed to on the documents. Things just keep happening. There's always some fire I need to douse. It's like I could feel Vaughn glaring at my back. Here it comes. I got up and opened my office door before hurrying back to my desk. I already know what you're going to say. I'm going to work on it today. Vaughn hesitated before stepping into my office, and he closed the door behind him. The deadline is coming up. If you need help, I don't need help. I got it. Relax. Still, stuff just keeps coming up, so I haven't had time, but I'll do it. Just, I don't need you breathing down my neck. Well, is there anything else I can do to help out? While you work on the edits, that is? No way in hell am I asking you for help. You're not asking, I'm offering. Jackass. Doesn't have to be big, but however long you were going to spend working on other crap, focus on the proposal instead. I'll take care of whatever you would have worked on. Why, so you can hold it over me? No thanks. So I can stop waiting on you and put my final edits in before the deadline. Fine, whatever. Come here. Vaughn leaned over me, and the new proximity reminded me again of that addicting scent of pine. I pointed him to the different emails I needed to respond to. And make sure to follow up with them and on whether those forms got approved. Geez, normally people hire secretaries for this much work, you know. Now you know why I've been taking a while. He didn't respond, simply pulling up an extra chair and starting. I turned my attention to my own stack of documents. Let's see, one of the changes we needed to implement was Appendix C. Tapped my pen against the table, mentally reviewing the last edits for our presentation. And then there's Table 5A.
Just emailed about the new meeting time.
His help was meant to give me some breathing room, but all I could think about was how much I needed his help, on how much I was drowning. My vision blurred as hot tears gathered on my lashes. Shit, I don't want to cry in front of him. I stared at the ceiling and tried to discreetly blink away the water, but the subtle movement was enough to catch Vaughn's attention.
You okay?
I couldn't respond. If I did, it would be like breaking a dam. So I covered my eyes, hoping that was enough to hide myself away. I didn't dare peek at him, the expression on his face, as I cried. And he didn't say anything, only my occasional sniffles broke the silence. I half expected him to throw one of those usual sharp, piercing remarks he loved to jab me with, but he didn't. Don't. Whatever it is you're gonna say, don't. It's just so much. And everyone acts like they're only giving me one small thing, but it piles up and piles up. And by the time I realize how much work there is, it's too late. And I don't know how to break it down to share, and My voice cracked, and I swallowed the rest of my sentence. I didn't trust myself to continue without completely breaking down. Vaughn seemed to hesitate before reaching for my hand awkwardly. He held my hand in his, rubbing small circles along my knuckles. It was strangely comforting. My sniffles started to fade. Sometimes I just wish I could leave it all behind, drop completely off the map, and run away.
To where? Some meadow?
Yes, actually. I've always wanted to go.
Really? Crazy guess. Well, if you ever take the leap, take me with you.
You would come?
Beats this place. Maybe then I'd pursue my dream of being an artist.
You want to be an artist?
When I was younger, it was all I could think about. But, you know, parents don't approve. You go to college, you get a soul-sucking job like this.
It's never too late.
Sure. But then who will do all your work for you when you're having a good cry?
This is the first time that's happened.
Impressively, it is.
He laughed, and a few strands of his hair fell into his face. He actually looked cute. Did I really just think that about Vaughn, of all people? My mind drifted back to our recent conversation. Say, do you still think we're soulmates?
I don't know.
It is hard to believe, and you don't seem like the romantic type.
Is that any way to talk to someone helping you?
I'm just stating facts.
Do you think we are?
You didn't even answer.
You go first. I'm still thinking.
Why? Are you going to steal my answer?
Oh, please. When have I ever done that?
That's true. If there's one thing you could do, it's think for yourself.
Wow, that a compliment?
Don't let it get to your head.
Too late.
I shook my head, trying to hide the smile on my lips. Anyways, Oof. Okay, I don't know if you guys could hear that because the desktop audio is lower. There was just whispering in my ear that was like him saying, I feel like we're together even when we're not. I would say, like, even if I dislike the person, hi Nox, how are you? I would say even if I disliked the person, this much evidence of us having the same dreams, it would be hard to disagree that we aren't soulmates. You know, if I randomly met some guy and I didn't really like him and suddenly we were talking about the fact that we both had the same dream, like the exact same dream, that'd be a little hard to disprove. So yes, I believe we're soulmates. But whether we are or aren't, I don't think that matters.
Why?
Because being in love, falling in love, is about the experience. You know, learning about each other, finding new things to fall in love with, supporting someone no matter what, and then doing the same for you. A relationship that's just pure and unselfish. I think soulmates are just a way to confirm that the person you're with will do that. So I guess even if you are my soulmate, you have to prove it. He laughed again and my heart fluttered. That's a good way to put it, though. I guess I've never really thought about that. When you think of soulmates, it's like, oh, you meet this person and everything's perfect from then on out. But I guess there's no guarantee that your soulmate is someone that you're going to get along with immediately and perfectly. Relationships still take work, soulmate or not. I've never thought about it that way. Yeah. I guess I always just kind of thought when people were like, oh, soulmates, I'm like, oh, okay, so everything is perfect. Look at these games making me think and use my brain. And is that not the hardest part? Making sure that you always choose them. Even be like, I love you, but I don't like you right now. He laughed again, and my heart fluttered. Has his laugh always sounded like that?
I don't know if I believe in soulmates, but if they existed, I think the universe would send signs. Signs like the ones they already sent to us. So maybe we're soulmates. Maybe we're not. I don't know, but
You have very pretty lashes.
I do know that since the day we touched, I can't stop thinking about you. At first I was just curious, and are you my soulmate, are you not? But it didn't take long for that to change. Soon you were always on my mind. Are you in your office? How are you doing?
Then why did you act like an asshole?
Fuck, this is embarrassing.
He wasn't the only one that felt that way. The back of my neck, the tip of my ears felt hot. You've been thinking about me? And not in a bad way?
As much as I want to deny it, yes.
Normally, I would have retorted with something sharp, but as much as I wanted to deny it, his confession flustered me. In a good way. What happened? Just a couple of days ago, we were at each other's throats. So then, what good things have you been thinking about me?
Shut up. I give you a whole speech and you still want more? You always greedy with the people you like?
What? I didn't say I liked you.
Sure. I'm laying my heart out, holding your hand, and you haven't moved a muscle. What is that then?
Maybe I'm just not mean, like you, to people when they're vulnerable.
Like I'll believe that after working with you for this long.
I'm not mean.
Sure.
He smirked absent-mindedly, bringing the top of my hand to rest against his cheek. To think this all happened because of a thunderstorm. Vaughn, if we were together in a past life, do you think this is our first time meeting since then?
I wouldn't know. If we have met, I don't remember.
Holding my hand isn't jarring any memories?
What? No, I don't know. That's not how my thing works.
Do you want to try? I leaned closer to him, and the unfamiliar pink hue on his cheeks deepened. What? No scathing remarks, no witty retorts, no snide comments?
Shut up.
Ooh, a classic. By now, my lips were only a breath from his. Each inhale Vaughn took brought us tortuously closer together. I'm gonna wait. It's only been a few days, and he did seem to hate me first. He shifted to lean over me, desire in his gaze, my face heat up. He had never looked at me like this before. Well, are you gonna kiss me or what?
What was that? I didn't catch that.
Fuck, I should have just done it.
You begging me for something?
No, as if.
Huh. Well, maybe if you do beg, I'll consider it.
He gently lifted my chin towards him, forcing me to look directly into his amused eyes. His personality's rotten, even when he's being romantic. Please. This is embarrassing. What if someone hears us?
We'll have to work on it, but it'll pass for now.
His mouth met mine in a deep kiss. His intoxicating smell of pine surrounded me again. We parted for a second, each of us using the opportunity to catch our breath, and he murmured,
Holy shit. You suck at kissing.
What the absolute... What? Then don't kiss me. He cut my words off with his lips on mine and placed his hand at the base of my neck, pulling me even closer to him. For someone who says I suck, he sure can't seem to stop kissing me. I pulled away from him, ready to retort.
Don't.
He easily shut me up with another kiss before leaning back.
You're going to say something annoying, right? You always make that face before you do.
He flashed me the same smirk he always wore when he wanted to make my life harder. But this time, I didn't find myself as annoyed by it. Vaughn stared at me for a moment longer before returning his attention to my computer.
Well, hate to cut the party short, but if you don't finish your changes by the end of the day, it's my ass on the line too. So, chop chop.
Fine.
Don't sound so disappointed. If you do well, I'll reward you later.
He leaned toward me, planting a quick peck on my cheek before pulling away. The shit-eating grin was back, and I pushed him. Shut up! Do you normally reward your coworkers like that?
I have to say, this is a first.
I tried to ignore the rising heat on my cheeks and returned to my work. As I promised, by the end of the day, I had finished making all the changes. But admittedly, I had been distracted by Vaughn the entire time, something I never thought would have been possible before today. Soulmates, huh? An invisible red thread connects those who are destined to meet, regardless of time, place, or circumstance. The thread may stretch or tangle, but will never break. A Chinese proverb. Would you ever want to get married? Yes. Oh, yeah? Big or small wedding? Huh. And where would you want to have it? Why am I so curious? No reason. More. Give more. Gib. Gib. Heck yes, I'm gonna follow the string into the next life. Gib. Gib.
Red string.
Ever since we ran into each other, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. So, will you go out with me? Vaughn, I'm sorry, I like you, I really do, but I'm not looking for a relationship right now. There was a tug in my chest as Vaughn's face fell. I need to focus on myself. Right person, wrong time, and all that, you know? My lips quivered into a weak smile. Yeah, I get it. Maybe when the time is right. Until then, try not to forget about me. I could never. Okay, what? When was this? 3 lives. Vaughn stared at me for a moment longer before returning his attention back to my computer. Well, I hate to cut the party short, but if you don't finish your changes by the end of the day, it's my ass on the line, too. So, chop chop. Fine. Don't sound so disappointed. If you do well, I'll reward you later. He leaned towards me, planting a quick peck on my cheek before pulling away. The shit-eating grin was back, and I pushed him. Shut up. Do you normally reward your coworkers like that? I have to say, this is a first. Ooh, look at the pretty field. What? As I blinked, sunlight flooded my vision. A dream? About Vaughn. Why am I thinking about him after all these years? How funny. Is that what we would have been like if we'd ended up together? Wildflowers swayed in the wind as I groggily sipped on my drink, trying to shake off memories dredged up from that dream. It had been years since I first saw images of this place, and since then, I had saved all my money to settle down here. I finally made it. Wait, so does that mean this is a continuation of the one we were just at? It was an incredible feeling to finally see my dream come true. In fact, my entire life felt like a dream. In work, I had achieved the success I'd always dreamed of. In friendship, my circle was close and my relationships deep. And years of self-love had taught me how to give myself the happiness and freedom I always wanted. When it came to love, I had never felt any shortage. And yet, sometimes in moments like this, I thought of that man from all those years ago. What it would be like to share these experiences with him. I wonder if he ever thought about me. If he ever found someone else. I didn't regret my decision. Everything I'd ever done led me to this moment. And yet, what would have happened if I had said yes? If I had 3 lives, I'd marry you in 2. The other, perhaps that life over there at Starbucks, sitting alone, writing a memoir, maybe a novel or this poem, friends to laugh with, and a man sometimes, for a weekend to remember what skin feels like when it's alive. I'd walk the beach at sunrise, find perfect shell spirals, and study pockmarks water makes in the sand. And I'd wonder sometimes if I'd ever found you. Sarah Russell. Last question, I promise. Coincidence or fate? I like to think of fate. Interesting. Okay, my turn to answer the question. What? How'd you know I'd say fate? More. Give me another one. Yes. Yes, I will. I would like to. 444 days. As I finished etching the most recent tally on the wall, I leaned back. Have I really been a prisoner for that long? Somehow felt like I'd been here for much shorter and longer than that, as if time simply didn't exist in this corner of the world.
444. Can't believe you've been keeping track. Don't even know how long I've been in here.
I have to. I'd lose my mind otherwise.
You might be onto something there. Sometimes I don't even know who I was before this place. My life outside these walls. What did that look like?
If you had to imagine it now, what would you want it to look like?
I think I'd want to be an artist.
Oh? Why?
I don't know.
Vaughn?
I'm sick of seeing gray. Everything in here, the walls, the floor, our clothes, even our goddamn food looks gray. I want to see color. Create color. Capture everything that's beautiful and bright in this world.
When we first met you, your photography and pictures were mostly black and white. I don't believe you. No, I believe this is the full game. But it doesn't have a tag, so that's why it's games and demos in the category, if you're wondering.
I want
There it goes.
to capture you.
I am not a Pokemon. What was that?
Nothing.
Well, I think that's a great dream, Vaughn. You'll get it one day. I know you will.
Hey,
Yeah? Yeah. A lot of the visual novels I have are demos, which I'm sad about because there's so many that have such good stories and I want to know what happens and now I have to wait. But I will. But I believe this one is the full.
when I become an artist, would it be okay if I painted you?
Me?
Why not? I never really had a dream. Not until you, so maybe fate sent you to be my muse.
Cheesy.
Don't like it?
You can't see it, but I just threw up in the corner of my cell.
Is it gray?
I'll let you use your imagination for that one. Wait, what time period are we? Because if we're in a gray jail cell, I thought this was like old-timey, but maybe it's not as old as I thought. But I'd be honored to be in your first painting. Pickup line, Reddit. I would choose you, Pikachu. Okay, so this is the first life. A red line second. A red line stood out against a black and white canvas, connecting two figures being ripped away from one another. It was a famous piece created hundreds of years ago. Evidently, the artist was a well-known photographer before he painted this. This became the piece he was known for. Okay, so this was 100 years ago? That can't be true. We had a cell phone. I'm confused. And it was the only painting he ever created. Iced tea! Which I'm running out of. I'm gonna have to get some more. A delicate red string floated before her. A singular thought blanketed any reason she had in that moment. Don't go. This is my first time seeing the painting in person, but it feels so familiar. I can see why it's famous. Oh, what a coincidence. Beside me, a handsome stranger admired the same painting. When I come here, I'm usually alone. Won't complain about a little company, though. You must be a big fan if you come here that often. It's a favorite. What do you think of it? I like it. For some reason, I feel connected to the piece. The red string in particular is my favorite part. It makes me feel hopeful in a way. Over the loss and desperation, it was the feeling of hope that I held on to. I know what you mean. If you like this one, there are similar pieces in the museum, but if I'm being honest, this will always be my favorite. Personal bias. Well, I'd love to see your recommendations, especially if you come here often. It would be my pleasure. By the way, got a name I can call you? He extended his hand to me. Ella, and yours? I took his hand and shook it. Vaughn. I'm home. I'm confused. What's happening? Who are you to me? I'm gonna kiss you because I don't know what's going on. I ran to him, pulling him into a kiss that was sure to show him how much I'd missed him today. Well, that's a way to greet someone. I missed you. I missed you too. How was your day? Ugh, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm guessing work was awful. You don't know the half of it. Your coworker again. Who else? I just don't understand. He is such a prick. He's always breathing down my back, asking when I'm gonna finish my section. Worry about yourself. And the way he's always looking at my calendar, it's not like he's my boss. Piss off. Okay, I'm confused because this was him. Yikes. Yeah, that does sound like a lot. You always do your work well, too. Wonder why he's like that. Maybe he secretly has a crush on you. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, right. If he was you, maybe he could get away with that. Maybe. I'm not too sure even I could get away with that when it comes to you. Yeah, probably not. Work's just so stressful right now. I can't wait for our vacation. Me too. Are you sure you don't want me to help with the planning? It's a lot for one person. Nope, I've got it all under control. Don't you worry. If you're sure. How was your day? Better than mine, I hope. It wasn't too bad. I'm still not sure what to call my exhibition, though. Show me your paintings again? Now. Weren't you just complaining about how tired you are from work? That's different. I want to help you. All right. Let's do it over dinner, though. You haven't eaten, right? No, I just got home. I'll get the food ready for us then. You can relax. I know you had a long day. Well, if you insist. Go. I'll call you when it's done. With a nice cold water waiting for you, too. What? Okay, so I'm confused, though. We saw our first life with him. A little bit. And then we saw a little bit of the second life we had with him. But it said that the painting we were looking at, that we told him to paint the red string, was painted hundreds of years ago. Yet somehow we had cell phones. So, is this like super in the future? Like, but I'm talking about a guy that I have an issue with at work, as like I did with him in our third life, but somehow it's different. So I'm confused. Various paintings lay sprawled out on the table, a rainbow of color woven together by Vaughn's expert hand. In one, splatters of icy white speckled, a gradient of steel and sky blue, like the feeling of icy cold rain against your skin. In another, a smear of iridescent aquamarine ran across a canvas of amethyst and sapphire, like the mystique of the stars as they gleam back at you in the night sky. In still another, smooth, pale cream stretched endlessly to the edges of the painting, highlighting the ridges created by the bristles of the paintbrush, like an open blank page in a book. Pretty. You like? Don't I always? Have to make sure every once in a while, you know. If only I knew what to name the expedition, or exhibition. You're welcome. I always yell it. I like to yell. Loud noises! Was there anything that inspired these pieces? Or a message you're trying to tell the audience? I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I'm not sure if it was that deep with these paintings. It was almost automatic. I was reaching for colors that just felt important to me, that inspired me. Is there anything you think of when you look at them? Me? Nothing too concrete, but when I look at these paintings, I get reminded of certain experiences. The blue one feels like that moment when you get caught in the middle of a rainstorm. Purple one makes me think of the stars in the night sky. And the cream one almost makes me feel like I'm reading the beginnings of a new book. An art piece that feels like something when you see it. It's kind of like us, isn't it? Our synesthesia? Yeah, I guess it is. Synesthesia. What if I named it that? In honor of my favorite muse. Favorite? Does that mean you have others? My bad. My only muse. He chuckled, pressing a light kiss to my forehead before leaning back on the couch. That's what I thought. I like the name. Makes me think of us too. Synesthesia it is. See? Been going crazy trying to find a name, and after one dinner with you, it's all figured out. Just like that. What do you call that? Fate. It's like you read my mind. That's what I thought too. As I settled into the couch cushion, I decided to lay my head on his lap. Today had been so exhausting. Can I? Of course. I smiled as a peaceful quiet settled over us. Vaughn absent-mindedly reached for my hand, placing our palms together. He always has liked physical touch. My hand feels so warm compared to her. I stared at our hands pressed together and relished the quiet comfort of her presence. These were my favorite moments. What are you thinking about? Me? Nothing much. Just admiring how our hands fit together. Where do you pull all these cheesy lines from? What? You asked. I didn't think you'd say something like that. You don't like it? I didn't say that. It's true. Okay. It surprised me just as much as it did her. I'd never thought I'd be the type to enjoy physical touch so much. The mere thought of touching someone always seemed overwhelming, especially with my synesthesia. By the way, her skin felt, the way the length of her hand stretched against mine, the way the warmth of our hands feel mixed together. I could spend lifetimes trying to commit it all to memory, and it still wouldn't be enough. Do we have any plans this weekend? Nope, just whatever you want to do. Any requests? As she mused to herself, I intertwined my fingers with her. You don't even know what I look like.
I don't need to. No matter what, I know I'll always fall in love with you. Bet I'd love you even if you were a worm.
Wow. Would you love me if I was a worm? Yeah, right. But it didn't feel like a lie. In the damp, dark confines of these cell walls, she was the only one who brought light to my world. Isn't that truly what everyone wants? Somebody who would love them even if they were a worm. How did I get so lucky as to meet someone like this in my life? Rather, how did I get so unlucky as to meet her under these circumstances? Yeah, why are we in jail cells? Both of us. Hey, Vaughn?
Yeah?
Can you promise me something?
Anything.
No, never mind. What could it be? After everything we've talked about, what could she be hesitant to say?
Getting shy on me now? After all the secrets we've shared?
No, I don't think I should say it.
Tell me.
I shouldn't.
I want to know. Please?
Fine. It's dumb, so don't make a big deal out of it, okay?
Never.
Do you think we can have a happy ending? I mean, it was just a thought I had, and saying it out loud, it sounds ridiculous. I knew I shouldn't have. As soon as I said it, I regretted it. It's stupid.
We will.
What?
Actually, give me your hand.
My hand? The dim light of the torches flickered, casting dancing shadows over my arm as I reached through the gap in the cell bars towards her. Jeez, I can hardly fit through.
Sorry, just bear with me.
The familiar warmth of her hand enveloped mine. I cherished it. Her, my one respite from the cold loneliness of these cells. I pulled out my present. I'd been waiting for the right moment to give it to her. I hope she likes it. What are you doing?
Hold on. Just a second.
Is this the right finger? It's so hard to tell from this position. Damn, why is it always so dark in here? Ow!
Sorry.
There, that should do it.
Okay, you can have your hand back.
A dull pain throbbed at my shoulders, a result of shoving my entire body against the jagged stone wall that breached her. But that slowly ebbed away, replaced by nervousness as I listened for Ella's reaction. A red string? Vaughn, what is...
It's supposed to be a ring. It's your 888th day, right?
We've been in this jail cell for 888 days? Or I have. He's been in here longer than me.
The top is supposed to look like an 8. Kinda. I know it's just string, but not much to work with in here. If I could, I'd do it right. Get down on my knee. Maybe the sun's setting around us. Well, if I could do it right, I'd give you a real ring. One that shines so bright it'd make you forget everything about this place. But this life has been cruel to me, and this is all I can give to the person I love.
Love?
You asked me if we'd have a happy ending, right? I promise it.
Wait, Vaughn, This is... Does she not like it? I know it's nothing like a real proposal, but...
Sorry. Am I doing this wrong? I don't remember much from my time outside, but I know people in love would exchange rings as symbols of their vows. And I don't really...
No, Vaughn, don't worry. You're not doing any of it wrong. You don't know how happy this makes me. Rings are usually silver, aren't they? I like how red this is. Silver, gray, all of that reminds me of this prison, like you said. But red will always remind me of you. I love it. And I love you too. Oh, what were you saying before?
Was I saying something before?
I can't remember. I think I started blacking out when she said she loved me back. I asked you if we could have a happy ending. You were saying something about giving me... You were saying something before you gave me my ring.
Oh, well, it's a little embarrassing to say now. You threw me off.
Embarrassing now? After we confessed to each other?
Oh, I guess when you put it like that. I was saying, even if I have to fight the fates themselves, I'll make sure we have our happy ending.
I like the music.
That's my vow to you. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to see those flowers you've always dreamed of. And I'll get you a real ring, and...
As I spoke, I was filled with a heart-fluttering feeling. It was light and exciting, and it was hope.
I promise.
Vaughn? Are you okay? What? Was that another memory of our past life together? Vaughn? Yeah, sorry. I just, remembered something important. Oh, what is it? I stared at her ring finger, tracing my thumb across it before pressing my lips against her knuckle. I'll tell you later. Where are you taking me? Vaughn guided me forward, his hands gently resting on my shoulders. He chuckled near my ear. The sensation sent shivers down my spine.
You want me to ruin the surprise?
We've been together all these years, and you're still planning surprises like this? What could it be? The sound of padded grass with each step I took, a light floral scent, the subtle feeling of sun on my skin. Where were we?
This one's different. I've wanted to do this for a while.
A while? What are you... I gasped at the scene before me. Rolling hills loomed on the horizon. Lavender decorated the meadow field.
This was why I wanted to plan everything. It was so hard keeping this a secret from you.
He gave my shoulders one light squeeze before joining my side. His eyes shone with excitement.
I've always wanted to take you here, to see this place. This was just the perfect opportunity.
Here? Really? Why?
Just been a dream of mine. You like it?
I do, but I never talked about seeing a flower field. In fact, I wasn't sure I'd ever thought about visiting one, but it was breathtaking. I felt a sense of belonging, like I was meant to be here.
There's something else I've wanted to do for a while.
He reached for something in his back pocket as he knelt down on one knee. It better be a cinematic. Give me the CG. Yes! Gray eyes met mine as Vaughn held up a small, cushioned box. Wait, his eyes weren't always gray, were they? Were they? Ella.
Holy shit, I'm nervous. For as long as I can remember, I've felt like I've been searching for something. But no matter where I looked, I could never find it. Like I was trying to remember something that never existed. I've always thought art was the answer. If I could just create what I was trying to find, it's only after I met you that I realized. It's you. With you, everything's brighter, warmer. Like I want to spend the rest of my life by your side.
He opened the box. Inside was a golden ring inlaid with gleaming rubies.
If you'll have me.
Vaughn, of course I'll marry you.
Really?
Why are you so surprised?
Every time I thought about this moment. Well, I never imagined this far. To what you would actually say. Marriage with you. It almost seems too good to be true.
He slid the ring onto my finger. The light of the setting sun danced off its scarlet surface. How long has he been planning all of this? You always find a new way to sweep me off my feet. How did you know I'd like this? A ruby ring, a trip to a flower field. I'd never mentioned any of this.
Call it a gut feeling. Here, sit.
He laid out a blanket, and we both settled next to each other on the padded ground. I couldn't stop admiring how the ring fit perfectly on my finger, or the way it contrasted against my complexion.
Oh, wait. I can't believe I almost forgot.
He placed my hand in his and pulled the ring off my finger. Hey!
Just for a second. Attached to it already?
I'm not sure. Give it back to me and I'll let you know.
This will be quick.
Vaughn offered the ring back to me.
Don't put it on yet.
Okay.
Look at the inside of the band.
Engraved on the inside of the ring was the number 8. And 8? For today's date?
That, and it's an important number to me. It's also an infinity sign for, well, you know.
I get it. The hazy lavender light of the setting sun mixed with the soft pink that dusted his cheeks. As Vaughn smiled, the corners of his eyes wrinkled, and he raised my hand to kiss the top of my ring finger.
Anyways, you can put it back on now. I know you've been dying to.
About time. I excitedly returned to admiring the ring, much to Vaughn's amusement.
I'm glad you like it.
I love it. The fact you even thought about this. Sometimes it feels like you know me better than I know myself. I wouldn't be surprised if you knew me in another life. He flashed me a mischievous smile before taking in the view himself. We both quietly enjoyed the scene. When I peeked at him again, his eyes had taken on a distant expression. Yes?
What if I told you I did?
Did what?
That I did know you in another life?
As romantic as that is...
No, it's not to be romantic. I mean...
He averted his gaze with a rare look of uncertainty. Vaughn?
I'm about to tell you something, but don't think I'm weird.
Vaughn, you know you can trust me with anything. What is it?
You know how I get those visions when I first touch someone?
Yeah, like deja vu.
Remember the feeling I got when we met?
You said I felt like an old friend, like someone you had known your entire life?
Yeah. And you did. But it also felt like more than that. I never told you how intense it was. But when we touched, I never felt anything like it. It was like this rush of emotions, of falling in love, being in love, heartbreak, grief. It was like experiencing a past life together. No, not like. I think I actually did.
Really? Our past life? If it was anyone else, I would brush them off. I'd call them crazy then and there. After all, what Vaughn was saying was ridiculous. But because he always listened to me, supported me, protected me, cherished me, showed me how pure and unselfish love can be, because it was him, I wanted to believe him. You saw our past life together? What was it like?
You believe me?
Because it's you. He lit up with relief before engulfing me in his embrace. Whoa, easy there.
You don't know how long I've been holding that in. thought I was going to carry that to the grave.
You're so dramatic. So, tell me more about this past life. He chuckled into my shoulder before stepping away.
Which one? There's been so many.
I have options?
Yep. There was the first time we met, after centuries apart. In a couple lives, we hated each other before getting together.
No way.
You can be mean when you want to be.
I bet you deserved it.
You've also rejected me.
I have?
It's not a big deal. I'm over it.
So then, we've actually shared a lot of past lives together? It's like we're soulmates. I stared at the scene before us, lost in my thoughts. It sounded cheesy when I said it out loud. And yet, being here with Vaughn, surrounded by lavender, it felt right.
That's what I thought when we met. I have a theory, actually.
What is it?
I have no way of proving it, but I like to think that the more lives we spend together, the more I remember next time we meet.
Ever the romantic, I see.
I've had a long time to think about this. How many years have we been together?
I lost track at this point.
Well, I've had that long to theorize.
And now you're going to dump it all on me?
Exactly. I never would have imagined you'd believe me. But you do. That's how I know we're soulmates.
Cheesy.
You said you like cheesy pickup lines.
When?
A long time ago. You wouldn't remember.
I shook my head, surprised at how naturally this conversation of past lives was going. Have you ever looked for me? Do you think you ever looked for me? If you happen to know I was your soulmate or something.
I've thought about that question too. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I have. I'm sure even if we couldn't be together, I'd wonder how you were doing, how that life was treating you, things like that.
Do you think you ever forced me to be with you? Do you think if we knew we were soulmates, but we weren't together, you would force me to be with you?
Well, there's a dark thought.
Hypothetically. Unless you already know from your glimpses into our past lives.
Afraid I'm not that all-seeing.
Maybe that's good. You won't remember all the times I've brutally embarrassed myself in my other lives.
Think I've seen enough of your embarrassing moments in this lifetime.
Hey,
Kidding. But let's see. Would I force you to be with me? Can't remember a time I did, and I'd like to think I never have. But who knows? Love can be dangerous.
don't we know it? Do you ever get tired of it?
Tired of you?
Tired of all of it? Of meeting me for the millionth time, of falling in love with me, being with me, losing me?
You make it exciting.
My chest felt warm. I didn't know if Vaughn's words were true. Maybe I never would. But a love that transcended time? Someone who would choose me over and over? The idea of it would make even the most hardened skeptic a hopeless romantic. And even now, you would still choose me?
Always.
You aren't bored of me?
Never.
So even in our next life?
By your touch, I'll always be yours.
As if to demonstrate his point, Vaughn traced his fingers over my cheeks. His gaze drifted over my features with the same unwavering devotion he always reserved just for me. Time seemed to slow as I etched this moment into my memory. The twilight gray of his eyes, his gentle, callous touch, that earthy, comforting smell of pine. I didn't want to forget any of it. Have I ever told you how much I like the color of your eyes?
My eyes?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
Really? I've actually always hated them. Not a big fan of gray.
What? But they're so pretty. That specific shade of gray, like liquid silver, was one of my favorite colors. Because it reminded me of him.
You think? Huh. Well, if you like them so much, maybe I'll come around to it.
We leaned towards each other, pulled by the invisible string that would forever tether us together. Kiss! Kiss! Our lips met in an intoxicating kiss, one that somehow felt both familiar and exciting. His voice was a quiet murmur with tenderness I would never get tired of.
I love you.
I would choose you in every lifetime. JB. Is there another one? Is there another one? No. Dang, it's actually over this time. That was a really good story. It was very cute. I liked that they didn't like each other every single time, like that one when we were kind of like at each other's throats. I would like to point out that whoever did the voice for this guy, which I don't know if it says. Oh, these are all the songs? Oh, that's cool. Because I was going to say, I like the songs. So yeah, that was Intertwine, Another Life. You can find it on itch.io if you are interested in playing it for yourself. I would suggest just getting it even for just the music, because the music is awesome. Oh, wait, hold on.
You know, sometimes I feel like we're together, even when we're not.
So I did hear him whispering in my ear. It was part of the music. It's got very good music. All right. Well, that was Intertwine. That was adorable. And I wish... There's no more, right? This isn't gonna start me from... Hold on. No, because it said Finn, and the rest of the times it didn't say that. Amazing game. I loved it. A little short, but that's okay. They got their point across. It was very cute. Kind of sad it's over. And also, kind of sad I don't know who the voice actor is. Because it was very good.